My friends, what's up? Hanging out with my man John Bair. We were just chatting pretty much about everything in life, which is always good to catch up with a good friend. But we were talking about how we met through Adrienne Ortiz. So she just had her interview that would probably be posted before this video. So just kind of funny how that was years ago, or maybe 2 years ago we probably met. So just the transformation from 2 years to now is actually a lot for both of us. But I'm going to introduce you, and he's just going to tell you a little bit about himself. So take it away, my man.
All right. Well, hey guys, my name is John Bair, and am the owner of Bare Knuckle Strength. And kind of how I got into the industry. I was a football player when I was younger, and so I started training for football, stuff like that. I have about 20 years of strength training experience, and about 8 or 9 years ago, I started getting into kettlebell training. My brother, unfortunately, had passed away, and he had a bunch of kettlebells that he had left behind, and I decided I wanted to learn how to use them. So through the process of kind of learning how to rebuild my body and train in a healthy way, I realized the power kind of behind like learning to move properly and using strength training as kind of a tool for good. And so it led me to, working in a couple gyms, kind of going that route, understanding how to help people the right way, and it kind of got to the time and place where it seemed like it was right for me to take another step in my life. And so I opened my own business about 3 years ago now, or just over 3 years. And, from that point, things have been going really well. And so I've kind of decided that this is something that I want to do for the rest of my life. So it's kind of my purpose in life right now. So
boom.
Yeah.
This baby right here is the mother of the kettlebells.
Yes, it is.
How much does that one weigh?
Well, that one's about 55 pounds.
How much? What's the biggest one that you use?
The biggest one that I own is 48 kilograms, which is 106 pounds.
It's like this
yeah,
big.
It's a massive, they call it the Beast Kettlebell.
The Beast.
I have a whole little family of them. They're really cool. But what's really cool about kettlebells is they're designed a little bit differently. Obviously, you can see it looks like a cannonball with a handle on it.
Badass.
And so it's really conducive to doing things like kettlebell swings and Turkish get-ups. So it's really good for the shoulders and the hips.
Yeah,
and it really integrates the body as one piece. And as I've learned about movement and strength training over the years, your body is all connected. So if you're not using it all as one piece, it's not really about doing the bicep curls. Although that's not bad. You can do those.
Every now and then.
Every now and then. But in reality, these things are designed to help your body get strong and all those weird angles. And
so what you're saying is you can get biceps from using a kettlebell?
Absolutely. You can get biceps from doing anything. Do proper chin-ups. You can definitely get biceps. But yeah, if you wanted to doing get-ups and even if you do your swings correctly, your arms will get stronger. Thus, your biceps will get bigger. But do you really sit there and do curls with it? Probably not. But unfortunately, sometimes when you see folks in the gym, that's the first thing they do is they think they go over and they pick it up. And that's kind of where I come in. When you have a proper education with them, you can show people how to use them in a way that helps them get to their goals. Because that's what it's all about, is helping people get to their goals. And if they want to get big biceps, well, we can do that too.
Hell yeah. All right, so after just listening to what John had to say, for someone like me, I see these things on a daily basis. I use them and I train with them. You guys probably watching, a lot of you probably haven't actually trained with these or trained with them properly. So I would say, what is a big misconception that people have about kettlebells?
Well, Joe, a big misconception that people have about kettlebells is, I hear it all the time, well, kettlebells hurt my back. I used a kettlebell and it hurt my shoulder. Ladies and gentlemen, please look at this kettlebell right here, right? You see it? This kettlebell will sit here for 100 years. It will not jump up and bite you. I promise it will not hurt you. It is how you use the kettlebell and how you are taught to use the kettlebell that can hurt you. And unfortunately, there are folks in the industry who think that this is just another weight, another thing to use, and they haven't really put in the amount of time to learn how to use it properly. Now, that's not to say that they don't know their things in other areas, but personally, I've had over 6 years of professional kettlebell training under my belt, where I've been certified by the best kettlebell users and practitioners in the industry. And so it's not it's not that the kettlebell itself will hurt you. Using proper form, proper technique with anything, with barbells, like you do,
absolutely.
Any pieces of equipment that you use, like it really comes down to how you teach folks how to use their bodies correctly. And so, ladies and gentlemen, make sure, like, if you want to use kettlebells, find somebody who has a lot of experience. This guy right here, who has gotten to some of the goals that you want to get to, and you know, has a body that looks like what you want to aspire to, and you know, that they're pretty cool, that they can really help you get to where it is that you want to go. And if they use kettlebells as one of their main tools, you know, they're going to be able to do that because they have the education to do so. And if you're not sure, or if they kind of feel like after the first session you feel like really banged up or hurt or something like that, you know, just make sure you do your homework to find out where do these people get their credentials from, you know, and if all else fails, you know, reach out to me, John, BairKnuckleStrength.com, and I'll help you find a kettlebell practitioner in your area that can help you, because it's really important to use them the right way. They can get a bad rap, as with any tool, so it's really important to do things properly.
And so for your background, who did you study or who influenced you with kettlebells?
Okay, so I was working out at a gym in Lansdale, PA, and I saw this guy using kettlebells, and he told me about this certification. It's called the Russian Kettlebell Certification. So I did my homework on it, and some of you that are familiar with it, I know, Joe, you know, Pavel.
The man.
The Russian, the evil Russian. And so I started looking into like the Russian Kettlebell certification, and this was no joke.
Serious, yeah. The test is tough.
The test is tough. They have a snatch test, which is doing 100 reps of a kettlebell snatch in 5 minutes. You know, with a weight that's, you know, pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's a heavy load.
A lot of people think they can go in there and just muscle it out, and they end up ripping up their hands and really hurting themselves. And so what I really liked about the Russian Kettlebell certification was they teach you not only like how to use a kettlebell, but then how to teach other people. And so they really went into the education and the principles of strength training, things that I personally have applied to things like dumbbells, to things like barbells. And so, like, there's this saying out there that methods are many, principles are few, methods often change, principles never do. So if you stick to how the body works and how the body gets strong, you can use any tool. And so that's what they taught me, and they taught me how to help people really use it in a way that's best for them. And so Pavel and his kettlebell certification, the Russian kettlebell certification, is where I started. And then over the years, I hooked up with a guy named Pat Flynn, who also was an RKC kettlebell certified guy, and I learned some cool stuff from him. And then Pavel, he split from Dragon Door and started his own company called Strong First. And so, like, I know a lot of the guys in that industry, and just over the years around being around kettlebells, you learn people that sort of took Pavel's idea and then have expanded on it. And so you just kind of learn, you know, continuing education, because it never stops. And these people have been really awesome. So that's kind of where I got my start, and how I've been able to use kettlebells and then help people use them as well.
Solid. So the next question is, if I'm a bodybuilder or a CrossFitter or a football player, for example, or an athlete, can I use the kettlebell to increase my performance on the field, or when I'm doing a competition, or just have as a tool to make myself better overall?
Well, yeah, Joe, you can. You know, long story short, how the kettlebell can be conducive to, let's say, an athlete, the biggest bang for your buck is it really is a good hip conditioner. And we all know as an athlete, your power comes from your hips.
Yep.
So producing power, force production, learning how to draw energy up from the ground. You know, if you're a football player, hitting somebody. If you're a basketball player, jumping, rebounding, you know, all of those kind of things.
Absolutely.
Another cool part is the design of the kettlebell with things like presses and Turkish get-ups. It's really good for shoulder health. It helps the shoulder sit back into the socket. It helps you use all the small muscles around the shoulder, but it teaches you how to connect the weight and disperse the weight of the load throughout your body, which is really important. And even for bodybuilders, we know that, like, you guys want to look really, really good, and, you know, even as you're training, you know, if you spend too much time kind of in isolation, though I will say that even if you're doing bicep curls, you're still using your abs and your back and stuff like that, especially if you're doing it properly. The kettlebell can help you with your overall health and injury prevention, which allows you to train more, thus getting bigger, getting stronger, all of those kind of things. So you can really build up your physique and kind of harden out those lines and really carve yourself up a little bit. But that's really where I find like kettlebells are really conducive to that, because they really help people, like I said, like tie their body together into this like one big knot, like glue all your joints together, because we're not designed to move in isolation. So everything works together, and yeah, so kettlebells can definitely help with athletes and bodybuilders. You know, CrossFitters do a lot of you know, kettlebell swings and hip work. You know, you guys are doing a lot of work, hip hinges and that kind of stuff. So it can definitely help with your performance. It just depends on what's your goal and what is it that you're trying to do. And then from there, we can kind of piece together what you need the most.
I would definitely say, too, from my perspective, a lot of athletes that I deal with, they have a lot of problems with building the base. So I think a kettlebell is a great tool that helps build your base and your structure to then go on and do the other lifts or the big compound lifts. But just as for me as an Olympic lifter, I do swings a lot, and I think that they've made a huge difference in my hip power and generating from the ground up, especially when doing my cleans and my snatches. So that's how I could personally relate to do with what I do now with weightlifting. Is a kettlebell is a tool that I use definitely throughout the week multiple times, and it's made a huge difference.
Yeah, I kind of concur with that. That's really big. If you don't have the engine, and to kind of put it in simple terms, like your hips are the engine of your whole athletic car, or whatever you want to call it, your whole athletic body. And so if your hips aren't powerful, the rest of you isn't really going to be powerful.
Yeah, it breaks in the chain almost, yeah.
Exactly. There's a term, and we talked about Pavel a little bit earlier, but Pavel says there's either energy linkage or energy leakage. And if your body leaks energy at any place, in particular your hips, you're not going to be able to express yourself fully on the field. You're not going to live up to your full capabilities. And you're not going to be able to be the athlete that you really should be and are capable of. And so, like I said before, the kettlebell really helps tie those things together.
Absolutely.
So,
all right. Yeah, that's how I knew him, Mr. MBI. So, John, what separates what you do? Because the fitness world, man, sometimes it's hard to find like who really is different from everybody else. So, what separates you from the other places, gyms, facilities out there right now?
Well, Joe, just look at me. I'm awesome, right?
He's the man.
No, I'm really not that conceited, folks. What separates me from others in this industry, it really comes down to, do you jive with my philosophy? And my philosophy to fitness is really more of a long-term lifestyle as opposed to working out to get high off the hormones or in the moment. So I guess the best way to kind of put it is I want to get to know you. I want to get to know what your goals are. I want to get to know why, your why. Why do you want to be fit? Why do you want to be strong? Why do you want to be healthy? And so I take the time to really try and understand those questions. I don't want you to come to my gym and where I train at if you just want to get, try to lose 30 pounds in 30 days. That's not really what I'm about. I really am into helping people, first of all, move better and feel better, and then from there, once you have some consistency under your belt, to you can lose weight, you can build muscle, you can get stronger, you can do all those things. I really care about the education of educating my clients on like, why is it important to eat properly? Why is strength training important? Why should you move well? And when I say move well, like, can you bend over and touch your toes without your back hurting? Can you scratch your back without your shoulders crackling and crinkling? If you're a parent, can you chase after your kids? Or if you're a grandparent, can you play with your grandkids without being in pain? That stuff is really important to me.
It's huge.
And that's, Joe, in reality, like, strength training helped me not just fix my body after a bunch of years of football, because for the viewers out there.
Yeah, how big were you in high school? how much do you weigh now? Let's put that way.
So I weigh 185 pounds now.
Uh-huh.
And in high school, I played football for Central Bucks West back in the day. State champs 3 years in a row. You know, and I used to weigh 260 pounds. You can see I don't weigh that now.
He was a big boy. He was a bear.
I was a big dude. And after, like I said earlier, I had lost my brother. Kettlebells and strength training helped me heal my body, but in a lot of ways it helped me heal emotionally. And, you know, not that I'm a huge religious person or anything like that, but they helped me heal spiritually. They helped me tie my mind and body together. And it was something that was so powerful for me that's what I wanted to share with people. And so, like, I'm not going to go and say that, like, the people that are out there doing CrossFit or bodybuilding or whatever, I really wholeheartedly believe they care about you. But I care to the point of your needs come before mine. And what is it that you're looking to accomplish? And if I can't give that to you, I'll help you find it. Because I'm not this ego-driven person that thinks that I'm the only person in this industry that can help people. But like I said, I really want to find out what it is that you want out of, you know, your fitness, and I want to help you find that. And I'm extremely passionate about that. I really don't like to see people hobbled by pain. I don't like to see people doing things incorrectly. When I say incorrectly, like things that can hurt them. Injuries don't have to happen in training, folks. They really don't. If you compete, if you're an athlete, you know, even if you're just walking down the street, injuries can happen. But when you're training, when you're doing things the right way and efficiently, you shouldn't get hurt at all. What you do in the gym and what you do in the training studio should enhance all of those things that you do out on the outside. And so, you know, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I really care about the people that come in, and I want the best for them. And I continue to educate myself on all the things in the fitness industry so that I can stay on top of those trends and all that kind of stuff, and really help people get where they want to be.
Awesome.
Yeah. BJ's or Costco?
Costco.
Where would be your dream vacation?
Dream vacation. Italy.
If you could spend one day with anybody in the world, who would it be and why?
Howard Stern.
Ooh, why?
And why would I meet with Howard Stern? I believe he's one of the world's greatest interviewers. I believe he can talk about anything. I've heard this man speak with athletes and movie stars and politicians, and he is the one person that consistently brings the best and or worst out of people.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
The fucking man.
Yes! Okay. Kill one, marry one, fuck one. Bruce Willis, George Clooney, Tom Cruise.
Killing Tom Cruise, marrying Bruce Willis, and fuck George Clooney.
Yeah! You're into that Silver Fox, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Alright, favorite 80s song?
Favorite 80s song? Little Red Corvette, Prince.
There you go. Boom. R.I.P.